So can you get a six-pack abs in like 6 weeks or 8 weeks or whatever this short time frame is that some company, brand, product is promising you can get? Is it really possible? The short answer is yes, it is for some, and no, it is not for other people. And that's kind of because of 3 major reasons. These are kind of the 3 contributing factors to whether or not you can make that kind of progress in that little time. And these are your starting point, your overall energy balance, and the sustainability of your habits. These are kind of the 3 main factors that I've sort of come to attribute to that kind of progress and really just being able to make that sort of change in a certain time frame. So now the question that you're probably wanting to ask is it possible for you personally to be able to achieve that kind of progress in, let's say, 6 weeks? The truth is, you gotta watch the video to find out.
Southside, can't get enough, can't get enough. East side, west side, worldwide. Ride out. Now I ain't got no kids yet, but this right here's for practice. I hate to get the seats in the bins wet, but that's how good your ass is. Make an old man get his glasses, make Wesley pay his taxes, then follow your moves all week on Twitter. Probably make a gay nigga reconsider. You're now rockin' with the best, man. Dress game down to the sex game. Won't grab but the boy been blessed, man. Let you play with the stick.
All right, so the first point I will address is your starting point. That's gonna be probably the biggest factor in determining whether or not you can have a six-pack or achieve some kind of major fitness goal in a period of 6 weeks, 8 weeks, whatever it is. This is pretty significant because if you're starting from a point where you're already pretty lean, you just have maybe a small layer of fat covering your abs that, by the way, already exist. They're just covered by that fat. If you don't have much fat to start with, then it's probably going to take less time than if you did have a lot of fat to start with. So like, let's say you started from a point of being very overweight, it's definitely going to take a little longer. But if you're starting from, I'd say, 12 to 15% body fat and you're really not seeing much of your abs and you are really consistent with your habits and your progress for a couple weeks, you're definitely going to start to see your abs in a shorter period of time. On the other hand, if you are starting from a point of being overweight, let's say maybe you're above 20% body fat, kind of between 20 and 30, it's going to take closer to a couple months, maybe even a year to really see solid six-pack abs, but that's not less of a reason to do it, obviously. In fact, it's probably more of a reason because if you're consistent with it over time, you're just going to see this substantial progress, and it's really possible for you to do it. It's just a matter of committing to that sort of time frame. The second major factor here is your overall energy balance, which in short is the calories that your body absorbs versus the calories that it uses. So this is essentially a matter of your diet versus your activity. Without going into too much detail, because I could go on about this for literally hours, I will just sort of say, in order to lose fat and to be on track towards fat loss and eventually seeing abs, you need to be consuming fewer calories than your body burns. There are calculators you can use online to find out how many calories that would be that you should be eating every day to remain in a deficit. In general, you just have to move more, eat less, and over time you're going to start seeing results as long as you are consistent with those habits. And the third and final factor I will lay out that has to do with whether or not you can achieve a six-pack or six-pack abs in like 6-8 weeks is going to be sustainability, and how sustainable exactly the habits that you are performing in order to get there are really going to be. I don't advise looking at it from a 6-week time frame because that's kind of a short time frame in terms of getting in shape, but even 6 weeks is a long time to kind of stick to habits that are too restrictive, too difficult to keep up with, and overall just not enjoyable for you. So if you are on a training program that you hate, or if you're on a specific diet that you're not enjoying, or too few calories, whatever it is, you're probably not going to be able to keep that up, and that is probably going to be a major factor in determining whether or not you can achieve that six-pack. So keep in mind if what you're doing is something that you're going to be able to keep up. A real quick fourth point I will bring up is, ab training and isolation. Just so you guys know, you cannot lose fat on your abs just by training them. You need to focus on overall fat loss, which is more so achieved through diet than anything else. So don't think that doing like 1,000,000 crunches or sit-ups or whatever it is gonna help you get a six-pack. You should do some ab training, but you probably already have at least decent abs underneath the fat that you have, so fat loss and diet are really gonna be your main priorities here. So I'll kind of wrap things up by saying, 6 weeks is a good amount of time in terms of making solid progress towards your goal, but you shouldn't be restricting yourself to that time frame if you really have a fitness goal in mind that you want to be able to keep up with. You shouldn't be thinking of it as, okay, in 6 weeks I'm going to be ripped and that's all it's going to be. It's a matter of establishing a lifestyle. If you're higher in body fat, you have a little bit longer of a ways to go, it's going to be less likely that you're going to see that kind of progress in such a short time frame. But like I said, that is no reason to give up. If anything, it's even more reason to push yourself. I'm hoping you guys found today's video useful. This is the first fitness-based video I've done for this channel. I was trying to gear this channel more towards overall self-improvement and lifestyle health, but fitness is obviously a big factor in that, and it's more my area of expertise, if anything. So hoping you guys found this one useful. Let me know in the comments what you think. Any ideas for topics I should cover, let me know those down below too, and be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already.